flat to Dyre. Give me your radio check. Uh, 2048, is your train charged up? Ready to leave Flatbush Avenue? That's a copy. May close down and proceed out of Flatbush Terminal. Is that a copy?
Stand clear of the closing doors, please.
Repeat your transmission. Your call back will be church.
The electronic strip maps are not in service. Please listen for announcements and watch the displays.
Flat to Dyre, calling back at Winter.
Sure, it's a copy. Next callback will be President.
Stand clear of the closing doors, please.
Flatbush Dyre, calling back at Flatbush Avenue, pressing the next callback. Uh, 2039
Stand clear of the closing doors, please.
Flatbush Dyre, calling back at Franklin Avenue.
Flat to Dyre. The person line up on a flat track too.
2039-5, Flatbush Dyre, calling back at Franklin Avenue, Medgar Evers College. Start a copy.
2044-5, Flatbush Dyre, calling back at President.
Stand clear of the closing doors, please.
2044-5. Your next callback will be Atlantic Avenue.
Copy for Atlantic.
2048. Repeat your transmission.
2039-5, Flatbush Dyre, calling back at Franklin Avenue, Medgar Evers College.
There's two people speaking over the radio at the same time. 2039. Repeat your transmission.
2039-5, Flatbush Dyre, calling back at Franklin Avenue.
2039. I beg you permission to close down on your next callback was Evans.
Copy.
2048. Repeat your transmission. 'It's a copy for church. Your next callback will be Franklin Avenue.
Stand clear of the closing doors.
2035, 2055, 5 flat to die. Question ladder about a Flatbush, track 2.
2053. You're clear to depart Flatbush Avenue. Sorry, your next callback will be
That's about it.
Very interesting speeds, 2039. Five, Flatbush Dyre, calling back at Franklin.
Repeat the transmission.
Calling back at Franklin, 2044-5.
2044, that's a copy. Your next callback will be Borough.
Stand clear of the closing doors, please. Stand clear of the closing doors, please.
2035 Flatbush Dyre, calling back at Neville Street.
That's a copy 2039. I want you to stop and stay at level 12 for the instruction.
That's a copy.
2035-5, Flatbush Dyre, calling back at Bowling Green. Borough Hall.
2035. That's a copy for your call back at
Stand
Borough Hall.
clear
Your
of the
next call
closing
back
doors, please.
will be Brooklyn Bridge City Hall.
Copy bridge. Copy bridge.
$23.95 flat to Dyre clear to close down and proceed out of 11th Street. Give me a call back at Bowling Green.
That's a copy.
2044-5, flat to Dyre, calling back in Atlantic. $2044-5, flat to Dyre, calling back in Atlantic.
2044, repeat your transmission.
Calling back in Atlantic.
That's a copy for the call back at Atlantic. Your next call back will be Wall Street.
It's a 2055 5 flat to Dyre, calling back at Church Avenue.
2055, that's a copy. Next call back will be President Street.
That's a copy for President Street.
$2044 5 flat to Dyre. Be mindful that there is a 5 train ahead of you at Borough Hall. Is that a copy?
Copy.
Uh, 2048, repeat your transmission. $2048, that's a copy for your call back at Franklin. Your next call back will be Bergen. Atlantic.
Stand clear of the closing doors, please. Stand clear of the
2039. Reduce your speeds. There's a $20.39.5 flat to Dyre. Reduce your speeds. $20.39.
That's a copy.
Flat to Dyre. Calling in a loss of power. North of Borough Hall.
That's a copy for the loss of power of Borough Hall. 2040 and 2055. I want you to stop and stay until further instruction as we have a loss of power at Borough Hall. Is that a copy? 2044, can you check on board the train to break if the power is in the trip position?
Check the breakers, power, everything seems right.
Here's a copy. I want you to recharge the train for me.
Copy.
2039, 2039,
to Dyre.
2039, 5. I want you to stop and stay. You got a train in front of you.
2444 Flat to Dyre.
Copy. Stopped outside of Bowling Green Station.
Smart ass. But anyways, my train has recharged and gained power. Do I have permission to proceed in the tubes?
2044, you have permission to proceed.
Copy, proceeding now.
Repeat the transmission. Your mic's a little low. This is a copy. You have permission to proceed south to Atlantic. 2055, you also have permission to proceed south to Atlantic. You're clear to proceed.
That's copy.
.2044 5 Flat to Dyre. I want you to reduce your speed. You got a train in front of you.
Copy, I'm reducing my speeds now.
$2055, calling back at President Street.
It's a copy for the 2055. The next call back will be Devon Street.
2039 5 Flatbush Dyre calling back at Bowling Green.
That's a copy for the callback at Bowling Green. The next callback will be Brooklyn Bridge City Hall.
That's copy.
That's a copy from Evans.
It's a copy for the callback at Atlanta. The next callback will be Bowling Green.
Stand the closing doors, please.
Twenty 35-5, flat to Dyre, calling back at Broken Bridge City Hall.
Just a copy for the callback at Brooklyn Bridge City Hall. Your next callback will be 14th Street Union Square. Right, copy?
Copy for 14th Street Union Square.
Stand clear of the closing doors, please.
2044, flat to Dyre, need permission to bypass 4th Street. My train has no power north. Train has no power north.
For the car, get your transmission for me.
Letting you know that I have to bypass Wall Street. My train has no power north. Only
That's a copy for the 2044.
flat to Dyre. Going back that position.
That's a copy for the 2044. I want you to operate at slow speeds under the train in front of your Brooklyn Bridge City Hall, but you're clear to proceed.
2039-5 going back at Brooklyn Bridge City Hall.
2039, that's a copy. I want you to give me a call back at 14th Street Union Square.
Let's go.
Stand clear of the closing doors, please.
Watch those speeds. You got a train in front of you.
Let's go.
Flat to Dyre, going back at Brooklyn.
It's a copy of the callback at Brooklyn Bridge. Next callback will be 14th Street Union Square.
2035-5, flat to Dyre, calling back at 14th Street Union Square.
It's a copy for the 2035. The next callback will be 59th Street.
Happy 5 now.
This is copy for Bowling Green. Your next callback will be Brooklyn City Hall.
2395 Flatbush Dyre calling back at 14th Street Union Square.
Stand clear of the closing doors,
That's a
please.
copy for the 39. Your next callback is going to be 42nd.
That's copy.
It was a 2044 5 flat to Dyre. I have full line of business 14. The 2044 5 flat to Dyre have line up into 14.
2044, you're clear to proceed on 14th Street Union Square.
Copy.
Stand clear of the closing doors, please.
Twenty 55-5 calling back at Evans.
2055, this is copy. Your next callback will be Bowling Green.
That's a copy for Bowling Green.
The 44 5 flat to Dyre calling back at 14.
2044, that's a copy. Your next callback will be Grand Central 42nd.
Closing doors, please.
Stand clear of the closing doors, please.
Twenty 39-5 Flatbush Dyre calling back at Grand Central 42nd Street.
2039, that's a copy. Your next callback will be 59th Street.
That's a copy.
That's a copy for the callback at Brooklyn Bridge. Your next callback will be 14th Street Union Square. Is that a copy?
Stand clear of the closing doors, please.
5 train pulling back at Grand Central.
This is copy for the 2044. This is copy for the 2044. I want you to hold the Grand Central. You see it straight in front of you.
Copy.
.39, I see you on my board. You have a reason for playing those signals so fast? .39, coming to control.
Flatbush Dyre, calling back at 86th Street.
That's the copy for the callback at 86, and that callback will be. This callback will be 138. Is that a copy?
That's copy for 138th Street, Grand Concourse.
2039, coming to control.
2039 coming in control.
Do you have a reason to clear no signals hold fast at 59?
Forgot to pull back up.
Alright, that's the copy. 2044, you cleared to depart Grand Central. That's a copy for the 48. Your next call back will be Grand Central 42nd. 2035, forget that old. 2035. 2035, forget the transmission. Give me a call back at 125.
Stand clear of the closing doors, please.
2055, calling back at Bowling Green.
That's a copy for the call back at Bowling Green. Your next call back will be Brooklyn City Hall.
Can you repeat the transmission for the 35-5?
Also copy for Brooklyn City Hall.
Repeat the transmission?
Can you repeat the transmission for the 35-5 train? Flatbush Dyre.
The 35, I said forget the transmission. Your next call back will be 125.
That's a copy for 125th Street.
$20.39.5 Flatbush Dyre, going back at 86th Street. My apologies, not going back at I apologize.
39, repeat your transmission. Your mic is a little low.
2039.5 Flatbush Dyre, going back at 86th Street. My apologies for not going back at 59th Street Tower.
39, that's a copy. Your next call, I want you to hold that 59 for a second. 86, 86, 86, 86. The 2044, I want you to hold that 59 for a second. Is that a copy?
2039-5, they cleared to depart 86th Street.
That's copy.
2044-5, Flats and Dyre, clear to depart 59. Is that a copy?
Repeat the transmission for the 2044.
2044, I said they cleared to depart 59.
It's a copy. My next callback is what, 86?
Your next callback will be 86.
Copy for 86.
2039-5 Flatbush Dyre. What's my next callback?
What was your previous stop? 86, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, your next callback will be 125.
that's copy.
125th for the 2035-5, Flats and Dyre.
It's a copy for 125 on 35. Your next callback will be 149.
Copy for 149 Grand Concourse.
Copy for the callback at Grand Central. Your next callback will be 86. Is that a copy?
Stand
2055, calling back at Brooklyn Bridge City Hall.
It's a copy for the 55. Your next callback will be 14. Is that a copy?
That's a copy for 14th.
That's a copy. Your next callback will be 86.
Twenty 5 Dyre. Flatbush Dyre calling back at 125th Street.
It's a copy for the callback on 125. Once again, we call back on 138.
That's copy.
This is the 2044-5 Flats and Dyre, calling back at 86th Street.
24, that's a copy for the callback. Your next callback will be 125.
Copy for 125.
Stand clear of the closing doors, please.
2055-5, flat to Dyre, calling back at 14th Street, Union Square.
55, that's a copy. Next call back will be 42nd.
That's a copy for the 47.
2039-5, Flatbush to Dyre, pulling back at 138th Street, Grand Concourse.
That's a copy. Please call back at 138. Next call back will be 3rd eye 149.
That's a copy.
That's a copy for the call back at 86. Next call back will be 125.
Stand clear of the closing doors, please.
2044-5, flat to Dyre, calling back at 125th.
Get the transmission, your radio's low.
Going back at 125th.
Stop for the call back at 125. Let's go back will be 149.
Copy for 149.
.35-5, calling back at 149 Grand Concourse.
35, repeat the transmission for me.
2035-5, flat to Dyre, calling back at 149 Grand Concourse.
That's a copy for 149. Your next call back will be Simpson. Is that a copy?
Copy for Simpson.
$2055-5, flat to Dyre, calling back at the Grand Central 42nd.
That's a copy, 55. Your next call back will be 59.
That's a copy for 59.
2040, your piece of transmission, your radio mic is low. This is a copy for 125. The next call back will be 149.
Stand clear of the closing doors, please.
Flatbush Dyre calling back at 3rd Ave, 149th Street.
This is a copy for 3rd Ave 149. Your next call back will be Prospect. Is that a copy?
2055 5 flat to Dyre, calling back at 459.
This is a copy. Next call back will be 125.
It's a copy for 125.
Flat to Dyre, calling back at 149, lower level.
Copy for 149, low level. Next call back will be Intervale. Is that a copy?
Copy for interval.
2039-5, Flatbush to Dyre, calling back at Prospect Avenue.
That's a copy of the call back at Prospect. Let's go back to streaming.
That's a copy.
Let's copy of the call back at 149. Let's go back over Prospect. Yep, copy Prospect.
Stand clear of the closing doors, please.
$20.55.5, flat to Dyre, calling back at 125.
That's a copy for the call back at 125. Your next call back will be there at 149. You got a copy?
That's a copy for third at 149.
Stand
2044-5, flat to Dyre, calling back at Interville.
That's a copy. I want you to hold that interval for a second. You got a train in front of you.
It's a copy.
Five flat to down. I want you to hold the train out of West Farms. You got a copy?
Copy. $20.35.5, flat to Dyre. What's the reason for being held at West Farms?
2039-5, Flatbush to Dyre, calling back at Freeman Street.
It's 2039. That's a copy. Next call back will be 174. 2035. 2035. For the proceedings 180.
Temple.
Stand clear of the closing doors, please.
you're clear to proceed.
2039-5 Flatbush to Dyre Avenue, going back at 174th Street.
This is copy for the callback for 174. Your next callback will be East 180th.
That's copy.
My next call back to the 24th.
Next callback will be West Farms. There's a copy. Your next callback will be
Stand
Freeman.
clear of the closing doors, please.
2035, 5, flat to Dyre, calling back at East 180th.
That's a copy. Just be mindful of the speeds going over the switches over there. Your next callback will be Pelham Parkway.
Remember for Pelham Parkway.
Flat to Dyre. Be advised, we're gonna send the train express via local, but be advised that the train's in front of you. Is that a copy?
Stand clear of the closing doors, please.
That's a copy. 2055 5 Flat Dyre. Oh, shot by door. Third at 149.
Only by the first car? The first door?
Yeah, you got the first door.
What station did you overshoot?
Third at 149.
You can open the doors. Be advised. Be advised. Keep. $20.55. Are you still in the station?
Yes, I am still in the station.
Stand clear
Alright,
of
be
the
advised, we're
closing
gonna send the
doors,
train
please.
via Bronx Express via the local track. Once you go back Vincent, is that a copy?
That is a copy giving you a callback bypassing Simpson.
Twenty 39-5 Flatbush to Dyre, calling back at East 180th Street.
Copy from 180. Your next call back will be Dunhill Road.
That's a copy.
Stand clear of the closing doors, please.
That's a copy for Freeman. Let's go back to the 180. Is that a copy? 2055. Disregard the 2055. Disregard the last transmission. I'm going to be sending your train. I'm going to be sending your train express.
2044 Foch and Fox Dyre overran by 2 doors at West Farms.
What's the operating motor on board your train?
6531.
Hey, that's a copy. Make you open your doors. 2055. Coming to control.
2055, coming in control.
Alright, be advised. I'm sending your train express to your local respective all stops until once it's informed. Inform your passengers that there's a train behind them making all local stops. Got a copy?
That is a copy.
2054. What's your current location? 2044. What's your current location?
West Farms.
What's your copy for West Long? Your next call back will be Morris. Got a copy?
Copy for Morris.
Stand clear of the closing doors, please.
One 5 Plaza Dyre. I missed my callback at Pelham Parkway.
2039. That is a copy. Where's your current location?
Gun Hill Road.
That's a copy for Gun Hill. Your next and final callback will be East Chester Dyre Avenue. Your terminal station.
Stand clear
Copy
of the
that.
closing doors, please.
2035. Look at my screen share.
There's a copy for the callback on 180. Next callback will be Gun Hill Road. Is that a copy?
Twenty 55-5, flat to Dyre, calling back at West Farm Square, East Tremont Avenue.
That's a copy from West Fork. Give me a call back at 180.
It's a copy for 180.
Flat to Dyre, overran Morse Park, behind door.
44, music transmission.
Overran Morse Park, behind door.
It's a copy for the overrun on Morris. It's a copy for the overrun on Morris. You may open your doors or resume service. Did I give you a call back?
Negative.
Your last station was Morris, so your next call back will be Baychester.
Activated.
2055-5, flat to Dyre, calling back on 180th.
It's a copy for 180. Your next call back will be Pelham Parkway.
Copy for Pelham Parkway.
$20.35, 5, flat to Dyre. Calling back at my last stop, East Dyre.
It's a copy for the 35. They may close down. Have a great afternoon. Have a great night.
It's a copy.
2044-5, flat to Dyre. Got unruly use on the roadbed north of Pelham Parkway.
Do you have a description of the youth on the roadbed?
Negative.
Alright, that's a copy. We proceed. 2048, I want you to be mindful of this unruly person on the roadbed. Is that a copy? It's 2048, what was the location of this? Sorry. The 44. What's the location of this?
North of Pelham Parkway.
Here's a copy. 48B, mindful, north of Pelham Parkway.
Yeah, they were running on the test track.
48, did you see anybody on the tracks? 48, that's a copy. Can you, Ivy, 48, can you, inspect the report for me? Alright, that's a copy. That's a copy. I have police on the way. I mean, 48, you may proceed on slow speeds unless I get a clearance that these kids are off the road. But is that a copy?
Stand clear of the closing doors, please.
.44 5 Flatbush Dyre over in Baychester by half a door pick.
It's 44. That's the third overrun for your trip. You good?
Yeah, this train has brake issues.
What's the operating motor on board that train?
6351.
It's a copy. I have the incident report. You may key open the doors. Can you take the transmission? Alright, let's copy. You may resume normal speeds.
Does the 2044-5 flat have line up to Dyre?
I want you to hold for the lineup to Dyre.
Copy for hold.
2055 flat. 2055 5 flat to Dyre. Over back at Pelham Parkway. Overshot by a door.
This is the copy for the 55. What's the operating motor on board your train?
The operator motor of my train is 7041.
That's a copy. I want you to proceed to key open your doors. Your next callback will be Baychester.
Copy for Baychester.
2044. You have the lineup to proceed to the Dyre on track 2. Is that a copy?
Copy for track 2.
This is a copy for the callback at Dunhill. Your next callback will be Baychester. Now, Baychester, I want you to stop and stay. We get cleared to the Dyre. Is that a copy?
Stand clear of the closing doors,
Be
please.
advised, when I get to Dyre, I'm taking it to the block. Dyre Tower. Did you get that?
Go for Dyre Tower.
Sneaking into the block once I get to Dyre.
That's a copy for the block. They get the operating motor, the north to southbound motor.
My north motor 6351.
Southbound motor.
6975.
Repeat the transmission for me.
North motor 6975.
That's the copy. Just a copy. Yeah. I want you to hold for further notice. All right, the 20. All right, the 2044. Did you clear out the train?
Yeah, I'm discharging passengers right now.
All right, that's a copy. Let me know once you discharge the train, you can take it to the block. Is that a copy?
Copy for discharge, take it to the block. (2044) 2-track at Dyre. My train is cleared out and discharged. Let me know when I have permission to take it to the block.
Just a copy. Just a copy. You cleared it. Take it to the block.
Copy. I'm recharging my train right now.
2048 flat to Dyre. Current location is Baychester at the moment, right? Alright, this is a copy. I want you to proceed slow speeds into Dyre. Is that a copy?
Clear of the closing doors, please.
Flat to Dyre. You have full lineup and resume normal speeds into Dyre Avenue.
Only 55, 5, Black Dyre, back at Baychester.
I want you to hold the train at Baychester for me. Is that a copy?
That's a copy.
2044 existing. Took it to the block.
That's a copy. (2044) operator. The train's removed from passenger service, right?
Copy. He's sitting there for the night.
Alright, that's a copy. The train should be cleared out. Would you do a last inspection for me before you leave the train for the night? Is that a copy?
Copy for inspection. Um, 2044. I cleared out my train. It seems that my back cab has been vandalized. The cab door is kicked down. Um, there's no shoe pallets to seem to exist in the cab. The cab is vandalized.
That's a copy. I'm gonna get a roll car inspector out to inspect that. You done the inspection though, right?
Correct.
Alright, there's a copy. Clear to leave for the night. And yeah, we don't have an RCI. Check that out. What's the operating mode for the cab?
South motor 6975.
There's a copy. It's a copy. You're clear to clear out your train. Your train will be heading downtown. You'll be heading downtown from back for passenger service. Clear for the night. Have a wonderful night.
ICC, do I have full permission to go into Eastchester?
2055, you're clear with the lineup until Eastchester Dyre Avenue. You're going to be taking the trains for the block for me. Is that a copy?
That is a copy.